What is up, everybody? It is the 4th of July. I realize right now I'm only talking to myself, but hopefully we'll have some people join us. Maybe we won't tonight. I don't know. Like I said, it is the 4th of July. You may be able to hear fireworks going off behind me for quite a long time. It's really intense out there right now. It sounds like World War III, but it's not. It's just fireworks. So in my neighborhood, it's really crazy. We live in this neighborhood that when we first moved in, there weren't a lot of houses, in the neighborhood. And now there's a ton of houses and there's people lighting fireworks everywhere. It is so nuts. Whoop, whoop. What's up, Jack? Yeah, so it's really crazy. I don't even know what next year is going to be like. We got people out there like dueling back and forth. I don't know. So, but you know what? America, freedom, celebrate all of it, I guess. But it's probably going to be going on for like a week. We in Georgia where I live, we changed the fireworks laws. And so people can shoot every night. And usually about 10:30 at night, there's always somebody around here shooting off fireworks. But you know what? It's 4th of July tonight. So dueling fireworks. Yeah, I know. We have people really going at it out there. So, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us tonight. Probably won't go too long tonight. It's holiday. We've been, cooking out today, going to the pool, the whole 9 yards. So, but a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about. First thing I guess we will start with is just kind of where the market cap is right now. And, I've noticed there's a big difference in my my Blockfolio app, what it says, and then what CoinMarketCap is saying for some stuff. Like my Blockfolio has got ZRX at 95 cents, and on CoinMarketCap it's at $1.02. I sure would like to see that reflected in my portfolio. But anyways, the market has continued to go up. I believe yesterday when we looked at it, it was 270 billion. Today it's at 274, almost 275. And it's just very interesting that we've seen so many of these flash pumps. It's I know earlier today I looked at my phone, I looked at my Blockfolio, and it was is it 6,500? And then I went and did something, came back, pulled it up, and it was over 67. I was like, man, what the heck? And so it just begs this question, why are we having all these flash pumps? When the price dumps and we've got these big red candles, it's you can kind of figure that people have just hit a level where they're just ready to get out. But with these flash pumps, with so much money coming in at one time, they say it takes $100 million in Bitcoin to move the price 5%. So I don't understand how that math works out, because if the market cap, well, I guess that makes sense. The market cap is 114. No, that I don't understand. I read that, but it's still in my mind. It doesn't make sense. But so $100 million really, it seems like it's a ton of money for us at one time, but it's really not that much when you consider so many of the big institutions out there. Some of the bigger investors, like we were talking about, like George Soros or the Rothschilds getting into cryptocurrency a while back, putting $100 million in the market for somebody like that, it's not that big of a deal. So it makes you wonder whether right now we're just going through this time where people are kind of rebuilding, putting money back into crypto after they were scared for a while. They feel like we hit a bottom, and so they're putting big money in, or that they're putting a lot of investors are putting money in, or if it's a few investors or institutional investors pulling up the market. And you know what? I would love to see some positive manipulation. That would be great. It seems like every time the price goes down, everybody screams manipulation, and it's negative. But you know what? If they drive the market up, then I think we'll all be happy with that. As long as everybody knows when to get out. So I guess that's just a question. Let's see. Market cap rising, got to keep on rising. Could it be those custody accounts? Yeah, I agree. I think it could be. It could be the custody accounts. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence, right? We get the news, and then all of a sudden we get a couple of pumps. Yeah. Jay Sweeps, Coin Story. See you there. Thanks for joining us. Could also be people who took profits out of all-time highs and we're waiting to rebuy in. Yeah, and I think that really just goes to, we still have so many people on Twitter, I feel like I live on crypto Twitter, and they're all just talking about oh, we haven't bottomed yet. Just wait for the $3,000 Bitcoin. And it's is that what you really want? Not necessarily because you wanted to re-enter at that low price, but like, do you want to see people keep suffering? That's the way it feels sometimes. They're like, they want to see the price go down. Maybe they don't have a lot and they like watching other people suffer or whatever. But I think that it is a really good time to enter the market. Like I told you guys on our last live stream, or maybe the one before that, where I had two people come up to me, both talk to me about investing in Bitcoin that hadn't talked about it before. And I felt pretty comfortable and pretty confident telling them that it's a good time. Like it might go down a little bit more, but it's a good time to enter. So if I'm thinking that, new people are thinking that, or starting to get interested, I think that means it probably is a pretty good time to come in. So yeah, no more suffering. Let's go. Let's move. Let's bull market. I'm ready. It was so nice to look at my phone and see it back up over 67. And this is just more evidence of why we're ready for a bull run. Like we've all been beaten down so hard that when we get like a couple percentage points in a row moving up a few days in a row, like we feel like we've won the lottery. Like we're at $6,700, and how good do you guys feel? Like it felt pretty good, you know. I mean, considering last week we were down at 58, or last Friday before we got that pump. So, you know, I think it's a good time. Hopefully we are on the up and up. Hopefully we will be able to clear 7,000 here soon. I think once we clear 7,000 or the number I'm hearing is 6,800. Like if we can get over this 6,800 resistance, that's going to be really positive towards a trend reversal. But I just started laughing about that, you know, because to me, and I know I had Wendy on, and Wendy was great. I really, you know, I respect what she said. I listened to her. I think it's good. She was talking about like if you're doing technical analysis, you have a plan. You have 3 criteria, and if a project meets all 3 of those criteria on the chart, you go in. Like that makes sense to me. But at the end of the day, like everybody's just like, oh yeah, whatever the next number is, like, oh, we get to 6,800 and then we'll be going up. Oh, we need to go to 7,000 and then that, you know, once we get to 7,500, we're good. You know, I don't know. It's just not making sense to me. It's always like, let's just pick a number and say, yeah, if we're going to be bullish and we're going to go up, we're going to have to go through all those numbers, you know, got to go through 7,100, 7,200, 7,300. So yeah, I don't get it either. But like I said, I like having Wendy on. I mean, a lot of those channels that do technical analysis, they do very well, but we're not going to be doing them on here. We'll interview people about it. But that's not our style. We're more FA over here than TA. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about, yeah, I hear you, Jack. I like Wendy. Wendy's cool. Wendy's real cool. I'm like in a little group with her. And I've got to know her a little bit, and she's a real deal. She's really nice. So, but what do you guys think about Syscoin with that debacle? Here's the big question. Do we even really know what happened? I think what was so funny is yesterday when I did my news video, I popped up Syscoin. I said, oh, biggest winners of the day, Syscoin. Oh, 70%. Been a long time since we've seen those numbers. That was like when I recorded the video was exactly in the middle of when all that was going on. So I think it just started to go up. And I think it was already on a pretty good run, maybe before. Yeah. So they say it's hacked and dumped, or it is hacked and pumped is the comment here. And I don't know, man. I just think the whole thing seems a little sketchy to me. I don't know what the answer to it is. At first, right? What did we all hear first? We all heard first it was a guy with fat fingers that set his sell order crazy or whatever, or his buy order crazy, whatever it was. And somebody basically just was able to buy, one Syscoin for 96 Bitcoins on accident. So that was the initial story that everybody was given. There were people making memes about it and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, now we start hearing the word hack thrown around, which on a side note, getting back to what we were talking about with Bitcoin earlier, in my opinion, this is really bullish news that we got this hack going on and that it didn't make the price dump. It went down just a little bit, but the fact that it didn't go down tremendously, like, could you imagine like last week when we were at 5,800, we would have got news about a hack? I mean, we would have gone down at least $300 or $400 and stayed down, but the market bounced back really good, which was very favorable. But so the story is, sorry, your username is in Chinese there, so I can't read your username. Or I'm assuming it's Chinese. Maybe it's not. Sorry. No offense. It is API attack. Binance is not hacked. Right. So supposedly, and I hope I'm getting this right, is that people have APIs and they were Binance asked them not to share their APIs with third parties to be able to use trading bots, is what I believe happened. And so it wasn't actually Binance, it was the API or the bots that were doing the trading for certain people's accounts that were hacked and messed it up. So so I thought, I was under this impression, as Jack says here, I'm just glad my funds are Safu. So Safu, I thought it was like the new HODL, right? Or the new HODL, however you want to pronounce it. And that basically it was a typo. But now I realize it's not a typo. Safu is a real thing. It stands for, let me see if I can pull up what it stands for here. Secure Asset Fund for Users. And apparently this was announced, they announced it. And basically what it is that Binance will take 10% of their revenue and use it to pay back people from the hack. It's blowing my mind. I don't even know if this is parody. It's hard for me to figure out at this point, like, what is parody and what is real with this situation. So that's the story I'm reading. There's a story. You can find it on the subreddit, cryptocurrency subreddit, talking about Binance doing that. And it's funny because I've been talking about, like, you feel like if you get hacked on Binance, they would refund your money. But a lot of people are really sketched out about this because, yes, it's great if CZ decides that he wants to refund or reimburse people for if they get hacked. Like, if Binance gets hacked and they lose their money, then they would refund those people. But at the same time, if people are going against the Binance terms of service, where they say don't use an API and share it with third parties, especially for trading bots or whatever it might be, and then people are doing that and they get hacked, you know, it wouldn't make sense as a business to cover those people for reaping their own consequence when you've already told them not to do it. So it's a little sketchy, honestly. And I guess at the end of the day, I think there are still more questions about this. I don't think we have the entire story here right now. I think it will probably be a few more days before, like, we're very confident that we have the entire story. And that's just the way that I feel, financial dude, good for finance, easy. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that they're helping them out. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about them if that's what they want to do. But at some point, you got to think about a business model that rewards people for violating the terms of service, you know? So, because that doesn't really make sense if you're going to say, don't do this, we're telling you not to do this, and then someone does it, and then you reimburse them for going against your terms of service. It just doesn't make any sense. Many Binance customers leave to go to Fcoin. Competition with an exchanges are hard now. Is Fcoin the one that's causing the Ethereum clog? I think I read somewhere. Maybe it was something. I thought it was a letter and a coin. I know most of the stories are like it's the airdrops, it's the clogged airdrops. But okay, good, yes. But I think I read an article about Fcoin and it talked about how that was actually causing the pump, yeah, or causing the clog up. Who still keeps money on exchange? Want to get wrecked? Fcoin is causing the clog, right? We're causing the clog. Yeah. So, who keeps money on exchange? Well, you know what? The thing about keeping money on the exchanges is, I mean, if you're gonna trade, right? If you're gonna actively, like, swing trade, then don't you have to have your money on exchange? I mean, can you set up a bot that will take the money out of your wallet and then put it on the exchange and make the trade? So for some people, I feel like they've got, you know, people have to keep money on exchanges. They're going to day trade. Now, look, if you're hodling and there's something you're going to hold on to for a long time, then definitely get it off an exchange. But if you're actively trading, you know, it's a lot easier said than done to just leave it on. I mean, you know, if, like, let's say you're gone, let's say you're out somewhere and you're using a desktop wallet and all of a sudden there's some crazy news about this project that you have that you're invested in and you want to get out of it, you know, then you can't do it if your money's on exchange. If it's on exchange, you can just go on there and trade it. But, you know, I think that wouldn't, I mean, if you're invested in solid projects, then it's probably not as big of a deal. You can buy Zip, which is maybe now more than 100x or times 100 coins. So other news other than Syscoin, because I feel we could keep talking about Syscoin. I feel like that's such a big story, but I still, like I said, I just feel like we don't have all the evidence or all the, you know, we don't have everything yet to really go in depth with what exactly happened. So hopefully going to be doing another video later this week where once I feel like we have all the information and talk about it a little bit more. So other news, we got big winners of the day. We have Ethos pumping 70%. Gosh, we got things that are crushing it right now. We've got so many. Could this be altcoin season? Could it be altcoin season? Man, I would love to see a good altcoin season. We got so many things up over 10% today. Almost everything is winners, other than, of course, Syscoin, Decentraland, Steam, Bitcoin Private, Wakey Chain, R Chain. Binance is down a little bit, probably because of the hack. But Ethos is the big winner today. So the reason for this is pretty simple. It doesn't take a lot of digging to figure out. Ethos is now, yesterday it was in Germany. Today, now it's going on. You can now download it for Android in the United States on the 4th of July. They threw a couple fireworks on the announcement, which I thought was pretty cool. None from behind me. They're just graphics. But so Ethos is pumping big time. It'll be very interesting to see if it'll kind of sustain that because, you know, I don't know. Ethos is good. You guys saw my review right on it. I think it's a good wallet. I really like it. It's really solid now that it's in the United States. And, you know, I think they really have to expand what kind of crypto you can actually put on it because when I reviewed it, there were only a few things you could actually put on. Let me catch up on some of these comments real quick. Fcoin stressing the system. Yeah, I saw that. I agree about Casper. Ethereum's got to get that. I got into an argument with a dude on Instagram of all places, where he was talking about Ethereum, and I was talking about the clog and how it's not beneficial, it's not good for the scaling. And he was just like, "Oh, Ethereum's a good project, blah 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 blah. It's scaling." I'm like, "Well, look, guys, you think airdrops are going to slow down? Like, you think there's going to be less airdrops in the future? No, there's going to be a ton more. Lupe's putting out airdrops every single day. So, but in all seriousness, there are just a ton of airdrops going on. And if your system, if your platform can't handle these airdrops, you better change something because it's going to eventually be a huge problem. And Ethereum's really going to have to get the sharding and the Casper and everything it's going to be doing in the future to hopefully unclog that problem. But it is definitely a big issue for that. Zip is the Chinese Ripple. Dang. You sound pretty confident about this Zip. Let me check it out. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up. Look at CoinMarketCap. Check out the old Zip. Chinese Ripple. Zip. It's worth about half of a penny right now. 13.60. Unknown circulating supply. Interesting, very interesting. I'll have to look into it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think this could possibly be altcoin season? I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen anything close to these numbers like we've been looking at today. I mean, when's the last time that you saw that you saw 70%, 40%, 30%? I mean, we saw 70% yesterday with Syscoin, but it turned out to be a big scam. So it was very cool to see Ethos up so big today. I have 3 of them. I bought 3 Ethos so I had to own some so I could get into the wallet test pilot. But I wish I had more, which is my biggest holding today would have been good. Funfair partnership today. Funfair is awesome. Can't wait to see what it's going to do. Yeah, I just think, man, I really hope we're on the brink of something good here. I do. There's just so many people who are still so negative. It's a little scary, but I think the altcoins are about to take off. I know I talked about this a little bit in one of my news stories about, basically what happened with Bitcoin is when Bitcoin started going parabolic, and everybody started FOMOing into it, Bitcoin dominance was rising, and then it kind of got to the top, and then all the altcoins pumped real hard, and that was altcoin season. So that was at the top. Well, I read an article about how that also happens at the bottom. So the gas is pretty gassed up right now. But how it happens at the bottom, like maybe we hit the bottom, maybe Bitcoin's going to go up. It shot up, shot up $1,000 in the last, is it that? Yeah, almost $1,000 in the last week. Not even, I guess, 5 days. And maybe it's going to be time for alt season pump. I would love to see it. I think that what would really be good is if we could get something on Coinbase, some kind of altcoin, some kind of, and it doesn't have to be necessarily that, but some kind of big announcement that would really propel some of the altcoins forward. I would love to see it. So, okay, so Ethos is up. What else is up big today? Let me get back here. Yeah, gas is gassed up. Okay, yeah, Electronium, Eternity. Did Eternity launch their mainnet? Somebody was saying that they were going to launch their mainnet or something like that. Let's see what the that pump is about. Will the mainnet link be launched? I had somebody talking about when that gets launched. It's at the end of July. So, okay, well, that wasn't it. I don't know why Eternity is pumping so hard. But Eternity is a good project. I like it. I like what they're doing. I think it could be a good one. Zilliqa, Neo, Cash, 0x, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a little sketchy. Mithril. So many good things pumping, man. I tell you, it's really good to see. Funfair is pumped by PBR. What is PBR? The professional bull riders? Past blue ribbon. They tried it hit top 2 cents. So, okay, so we'll look at the other news. I'm trying to keep up with the conversation going on over there. Palm Beach Research. Oh, I was close, right? So did you guys see Phil Hellmuth at the World Series of Poker today? Anybody see that? Anybody like poker? I mean, I love poker. Tequila, not Zilliqa. Tequila is a Russian scam, you're saying? But I love poker. I watch it. I play a pretty well. I don't play that much anymore, but I used to play pretty competitively and stuff like that. I know a lot of people you know, in the cryptocurrency space are interested in poker. A lot of people in poker obviously have, like, Doug Polk is a big YouTuber. He also is a professional poker player. Phil Hellmuth showed up today at the World Series of Poker for his flight, repping VeChain. So there's a picture of him. He came dressed kind of like Thor, I guess, and he had VeChain on his hammer. And I think that's really cool because if you guys watch poker online at all, you know, they've got they have you know, the guys are always wearing patches for the different poker brands and stuff like that. And it's really cool now to see maybe cryptocurrency where they're rocking cryptocurrency. There's such a good crossover between poker and cryptocurrency because of the volatility, basically the gambling of it. If you can, volatility is a way to say you could put money in, a little bit of money, and have a lot of big money come back, right? Or you could put a decent amount of money in, and then all of a sudden it could go to nothing. So it's very similar to poker and gambling. Obviously, that's why we all like it, right? If you could get a 3% gain in a year and that was a good gain, then where would you be? You'd be on the stock market. But people that like poker, they like, especially with Texas No Limit Hold'em, they like the thrill of being able to win so much at one time, but it also comes with the risk of defeat and losing so much at one time. So it's just really cool to see, you know, that crossover with VeChain being repped over there. Augur launch is coming close. Time to get in. Could be. I mean, Augur's just a really slow-moving project. They finally just announced they're going to be opening the network. Is that right? Or doing the mainnet? I can't. We did the story. I can't remember it offhand. But Augur is like one of the oldest projects, I believe, right? Like one of the first ERC20s. Yeah. They should start communist rooms at the blockchain conference, right? If you hold so much of one coin, you know, they should comp your room. I like that. Hotel chain, right? Wasn't there? I think there already is something like that. Some kind of hotel coin. Yeah, they should. It would be really good. But let me see here. Let me go back. Oh, Augur. I was going to look at Augur. Let me pull it up. Let's see when. January 16 is as far back as it goes on CoinMarket. No, October 27th of 2015. That was my birthday. That's my birthday. Just so you guys know, send me a tip on my birthday. It can't just be a piece of advice. Would be fine. But yeah, Augur has been it's been around for a while. It's one of the older ERC20s. I think with a project like that, when you have a project that has been so slow moving, Like there are so many. Oh yeah, I'm in Georgia. What's up, ATL? For sure. I rock all the Georgia teams. I rock the Hawks a little bit, but the Lakers are really my main basketball team. But I've got season tickets to the Falcons, UGA, Braves, whole 9 yards. So cool, man. Good to see you in here. But the thing about these slow moving projects like Augur, because what I was saying is there's been so many other ERZ20s that have debuted outside of that or since then that have been doing really, really well since then and have already, launched mainnets, have working platforms, and Augur is still kind of back behind. So, we look at a project like Lisk, right? Lisk is one that's also been very slow moving, but they've also been able to like keep deadlines. And even though it's been slow, it's been consistent. I don't think we've seen that with Augur. So I think when you have a project like that you think has a lot of promise, I think you kind of got to like say, okay, well, show me. And once they're actually able to start producing something, that's when you can invest in a platform like that or a project like Augur. So, okay, Tucker. All right. I'm actually in Gainesville, so I'm 45 minutes north. But, if you live in Georgia, you can say Atlanta. Or if you live in Georgia, you're talking to somebody from outside of Atlanta, you just always say Atlanta. But I'm in Gainesville, originally from Cobb County. Marietta pretty much is where I'm from. So, but I'm not too far away from you, just probably about 30 minutes from you. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on Augur. It's not one that really gets me going. I'm not super excited about it right now. I've been covering it in the news a little bit, but my thing is more, if you're gonna speculate on something, I would speculate on a fast moving project, because a fast moving project can get some results. Like look at something like EOS. I mean, yeah, they had a 1-year ICO. So in that way, it's not fast moving. And yes, like the development itself has not been super fast moving, but the project itself, it was very fast moving. They did what, over $1 billion, $2 billion, $4 billion in their one ICO. It's very speculative. So if at any given point during that speculation over a year, you could have sold out the top because it pumped a lot, you could have got some good gains from it. But something like Augur, like I said, you just got to wait and see what it's going to do. Now, I will say EOS, now that they've launched their mainnet and don't have really any apps on it at this point, I would probably put it in the speculative category too. But I just mean like something that started and now a year later it's already on its mainnet. EOS is. So that's a pretty fast moving project. I think that those are the ones, if you're going to really want to invest and try to, get some good gains. Now, if you like Augur and you believe in the long-term vision, I think maybe I talked about this before, maybe I didn't, but my friend Crypto Breakfast, just about EOS, he's a big believer in it. He talks about it all the time. I say some negative stuff about it. Sometimes I try to stay pretty neutral, but he basically said his whole thing is he's not looking at EOS as a short-term hold. And this is a good perspective to have on the market. If you have a project that you believe in, right? Like me with Basic Attention Token, like I believe in Basic Attention Token. I think it's going to revolutionize the digital advertising world. We got some other projects we're also looking at. We'll be doing some videos on here in the upcoming weeks that do similar things to Basic Attention Token. We love that space, right? And it's because I've had a lot of bad experience with digital advertising, so I see the need for it. That is something that you invest in because you believe in, and it doesn't really matter what the short-term news is. It doesn't really matter the speed of the progress, right? Because you're holding it for long-term because you believe in it on a deeper level. And if that's the case, then you can certainly invest in something like Augur that's a slow-moving project, because like Crypto Breakfast said, I don't care what all the FUD is about EOS. I don't care what people are saying about it right now at this moment. I don't care about, what they're saying about possibly it being centralized, with people being able to freeze people's funds. That's just one example, with a very small percentage of the addresses being able to have almost all of the, like 95% of EOS is owned by like 1% of the addresses. And EOS has its own FUD sheet. If you go to their subreddit, they have their own FUD sheet that they literally hand out to their community. Now, they don't physically hand it out, but they display it and they say, look, here are all the different things that someone can say to you, and here are all the different responses you give to them. It really reminds me like Jehovah's Witnesses. I hope I'm not offending anybody. But, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they come and they knock on your door, and I don't ever let them in, you know what I mean? But if I did, they come in, and you can say, oh, well, I believe this, or what about this, or what about this? And they give them a script, you know, like they understand every possible, you know, every possible thing that you can say that might be a concern for you. And, you know, they always have an answer for it. But, oh, is he? Oh, sorry, I'm going to read that in a second. But that's what EOS has with a FUD sheet. They have a script. Any FUD that somebody gives you, you are able to say, oh, no, I understand that you say this about these addresses, but really they're owned by exchanges, and it makes sense. And Crypto Brega said, like, he doesn't worry about any of that. The only thing he worries about with that is it a working platform? Are apps being built on it? And what will that platform and those apps look like down the road in like 5 years or 10 years? And that's why he says it's a long-term hold for him. He doesn't let any of the daily stuff bother him, which is kind of cool. So, and I think that's the way you would look at a slow-moving project. I rambled a long time about that, but I feel pretty passionately about it. Yes, BAT is money. Peter from Decentralized TV is from Georgia too. Time to collaborate. Please do not do YouTube Craig-like commercials. Slow-moving projects like IOTA, forget Wind Moon. How about Wind Launchpad? Okay, yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah, I didn't know Peter was from Georgia. That's very interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. We have a local meetup group in Atlanta. Haven't actually gone yet. I don't know how. I don't recognize any of the members from Crypto Twitter, so I don't even know if it's good, right? You would think they would be on Crypto Twitter. Maybe there's some of those hidden accounts. So, but what about 8x versus BAT? Are they doing anything? They are B2B ad exchange. I looked at it. Is that a NEP5 token? Let me look real quick. 8x. Go to their website here. So it's basically, I haven't really looked at it. It's pretty low market cap. It's like 200 something. Honestly, I don't know any. No, this is on Ethereum. This is ERC20. I don't know anything about this one. I'll have to look at it. It says partners Proppy. I know Proppy, Bitmain, Harbor. I know all of those. Fintech Blockchain Group. I don't know those, but I can imagine what they are. I'll have to look into this one. Okay, so this is really cool that you bring this up. So I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make a note here on my computer to look into that one, because one kind of cool series I think we're going to start doing is we're going to go I'm going to start doing like a maybe one that we've looked at before, like a coin review, and then picking a lower market cap coin, like maybe number 200 or lower than that, anywhere through 400 or 500, and doing a review on those and try comparing the two. So like something that's in the same area, like the same, whether it's supply chain or platform, and kind of compare, like if you like this one, then maybe you want to check out this one. I think that would be kind of a cool series to do. So EOS is the Jehovah's of crypto. I like it. We'll do EOS girls only like to wear skirts. I have a bet on Brit, and you can't withdraw or exchange money pit. I don't know. Do you have a Uphold account? I guess I don't. So you can support my channel by downloading the Brave browser. It's always in my video information. And I have an account with Uphold, and so they take the BAT and then they transfer it to Uphold, and then I've got the option to take it, or like I can take it with either cash or I can send it to Bitcoin. But I had to do like identity verification, which I just haven't done yet. So hopefully I won't have any problems when I actually get ready to do it. I mean, I made $40 or $50 on it, which isn't a ton of money, but I'm starting to get some tips on the channel and stuff that's kind of starting to add up a little bit. I mean, a couple $100 here or there is definitely beneficial. I put it all back in crypto. So people are apprehensive because what went on with Steam that don't know research. Oh, you mean with EOS? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful what I say here. I try to be unbiased about stuff as I can. Dan Lermer he seems a little overblown to me, honestly. I think that he's got I don't want to say bad reputation. He's a smart guy, but he moves from place to place. And Steam is, I've stopped using Steam, honestly. I was using DTube for all of our videos. I was uploading them every day. It took extra time to be able to try to do. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but I would have to basically like redo a thumbnail and thanks, Jack. I'd have to redo a thumbnail and then put it up on DTube, and then it takes forever to load it. I found a little shortcut where it go faster, but basically to upload, like usually, you guys know, other than the days I live stream, I do 2 videos a day. It was taking me like an extra 30 minutes to put it on DTube, and I was getting absolutely no return from it. I mean, I was making like $1 a video or something like that, but you don't actually get all that money. It's so confusing. Steemit is so confusing. They've got 3 different types of currencies on the site, and it's really hard to figure out which one's which. And, when you get which, I had a video where I made $152 on it. It went, the DTube account liked it. And I don't even know what happened. Like the value just started going down, and it got down to where it was only worth like $50, and I could only withdraw like 10 of it. And I don't know, it's just such a confusing site. And I don't think that it's ever going to, I don't think it's going to get better, guys. I really don't. I think with Steemit, that the people that run it are already running it. They call them whales, Steemit whales or DTube whales. Well, just Steemit's what they call it, but DTube obviously is associated with it. And, you can't really get in there and unless you already have a huge following, like somebody like Crypto News with the Zero, Omar. I know he's pretty big on there, but he has 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He can be like, hey guys, if you like what we're doing, support decentralization, let's move over there. We've got 1,100 here, so I can't move over there like that. Yeah, I know, Jack. It was crazy. It was crazy. I had a video. I went one day. It was actually my Brave browser video that I did, my review on Brave browser, and I was gonna go to my DTube account, and it said $152, and I was like, what the heck? I had like 64 cents on there, the DTube account, the official DTube account, liked my video. And you got to keep in mind, that was kind of in the beginning of making videos for me when the price of crypto was a lot higher. It was around $10,000, I think 10, 11, somewhere around there. And so the price of Steam obviously goes up with the market. So later on, when I did my interview with Bitcoin Bella, DTube official account liked, and it was worth $50. But then with that one, I could only withdraw like, I don't even remember how much I could draw. But let me tell you this, I haven't actually had a single dollar hit my bank account. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't enough of work. It wasn't worth enough for me to go ahead and withdraw it. So, but Steemit is not only the confusing thing, like the site sucks. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. Love decentralization. I wanted to make DTube work. I wanted to make Steem work. I want to support something that's decentralized. But if the best social media platform that we can do that's decentralized is Steemit, there's never going to be adoption for a decentralized social media. You click something and you feel like you're in like 1992 on the internet. You click and you sit and you wait, sit there and you watch it. And then finally it says, you have liked this video. And you're just like, why did that take so long? And there will be a time when, I kid you not, sometimes it takes like 45 minutes to upload a video on there, if not longer. I found a shortcut. So what I would do is I would upload my video to YouTube, and then I would go to YouTube and use this thing I have called Clip Grab, and I would pull the YouTube video back down, and it compressed the file, and it didn't take it. Yeah, you've got mail, and it didn't take as much time to upload the video. It got me down to where I could do it in like 15 minutes. But sometimes you got to go through, you got to put your tags in, you got to put your description in, you got to upload your thumbnail, you got to upload the video. It's a big, long process. And it'll get to the very end, like you've uploaded the video and you go to click submit and it'll say an error occurred with your video. And once you get that, there's nothing you can do. You gotta log out, log back in, and start the whole process over. I mean, I have probably lost hours trying to upload stuff onto DTube. And not necessarily Steemit, but onto DTube, which then automatically goes on Steemit. And it's just a crappy platform. So that's why, Dan Larimer doesn't really like what they've done with it either. But, he had a big hand in it. I doubt it was running faster when he was still working on it than it is now. So I don't have a lot of hope for it. So, and the people, I don't, it's so weird. Like if you go to DTube and look at the bigger accounts, there's nothing special about them. Like you just sit there and you're like, why are you a whale on here? You know, was it just because you were in the very beginning? I don't know. Do you have some kind of insider, you know, so just some video of a girl walking around talking about her first video on DTube. Like she was in some, you know, on some island or something. And it's like, she had made like $1,000 on that video or something. I was like, what are people doing? Nobody likes this video. So I don't know. It's pretty sketchy. I agree. It's a scam. The whales have all the coins. I agree with that 100%. So you're looking at two big problems with Steemit. You're looking at the whale monetization problem, which is supposed to be beneficial for the community, but it's not. People are using bots and stuff like that. And then you also have the problem of the platform just sucks. So you got two problems with it, and it's going to combust. So I don't know. I think maybe look for something like Mithril. Maybe Mithril will be a good decentralized social media. The problem with all these socialized, this is another one of my little rants I like to get on about decentralized social media, which is the problem with decentralized social media is there's starting to be like a lot of options, but for it to really be social media, not only do you have to use it, but you have to know other people that are using it. So I downloaded like the Mithril app. I believe it was Mithril, and was it Mithril? I can't remember which one it was. Or like the download the Mixin app. That's what it was, Mixin messaging app. And I was like, great, I've got it. It looks awesome. I have literally no one to message, you know? So it's literally going to take people getting together and be like, hey, do you want to get on this app with me? For you to have like a friend on there, unlike Facebook where, you know, just kind of all started and then all your friends were on there. So let's see. Let me go back up here. Steemit can't get mass adoption until it gets, I agree. I don't think it will get mass adoption, honestly. Sound like W2, forget that. Yeah, it sucks. I don't like it. Remember the AIM door sound? Yes. Do you remember the AIM door sound and you'd be on the edge of your seat to see who logged on? Yes, I remember it exactly right now. Like as soon as I read that, it flashed across my head, my memory there. I heard it audibly almost, you know, it's like a screen door. So, yeah, definitely remember that. So, I love that AIM noise. Could she be an EOS witness? Can she come on over and try to confirm me? Making that myth. Okay. Lit app is okay. What is Lit? Is that the Mithril app? That is the Mithril app, isn't it? And you get paid for your post or something like that. I just remember seeing the demo and it showed like people dancing. I think it was pinkish. Having multi-levels of coin values is strange to me. It's somewhat okay for exchanges to have coins to make money on the platform to stay open, but not social reposting echo chamber. Yeah. Yeah, but not social reposting echo chamber garbage. The different coins on there makes absolutely no sense to me. It is really a very horizontal. I think this is what I think it is. I think you've got super intelligent people way smarter than me technologically anyways, maybe not in other ways. I think my computer's about to go dead here. Hold on, grab my charger here. I have to do this every video, I think. I have way more confidence in my MacBook battery than I should. Same thing with my iPhone. But so you got these really smart guys. They're probably smart enough to keep their charger with them when they're doing a live stream. But you got these really technologically, smart guys, but they don't like they overcomplicate things. Like there's no reason to have 3 different coins. There's absolutely no reason. Like we got all these other platforms and they got one native token, right? So why are you so special? Because you're social media? Like that doesn't make sense. Because you want to allow people to build clout on the site, so you give them these Steam dollars, and like, is that really? I don't know. Is that really letting the community choose? Because I think that's the problem. I think that's, once again, the platform sucks. Outside of the platform, if you want to go to just the problem with Steemit that has to do with the whales that have all the coins, they reward people who have clout. They reward people who've been there around longer. They reward people who've had their content liked a lot. And so what happens is it squeezes new people out of the space, and there's no way for people to get a footing. So basically what you're saying is a legacy system. Like if you were good in the beginning, you have all the power, and now you're going to be able to create content for money. But if you're new, then you're not really going to have an opportunity to do it. I mean, it just says, like, I had this video that I made $150 on, and it didn't do anything. I didn't get any followers from it. It was just because one person liked my page, you know? So I think that is really just such a dumb setup. It's pretty stupid. It makes me question the, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know about Dan Larimer that much when I first started this channel. But since doing a review on EOS and looking at Steam and you know, all kinds of different things that he's had his hand in, Block One, it's just become more obvious to me. Like, I'm not, and I've seen some stuff he said that I don't really jive with. I'm not going to get into all that, but he just, he doesn't, he's not my favorite person in the cryptocurrency space. There are people that are his disciple, you know what I mean? That they think he's the most respected person in cryptocurrency. He's definitely not on my Mount Rushmore of cryptocurrency. He's nowhere near it. So I don't think he's nearly as important of a player as a lot of people give him credit for. So, sounds like a casino to me. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. BitShares, I haven't looked into BitShares that much. I'll have to, I know Dan Larimer is part of it. I guess he did that after Steam It or before Steam It. I'm not really sure. That's one of those projects that, you know, is like, I know I need to look into it. I just haven't yet. But that could tell me a little bit more of a tale about him. So I'll have to check that out, and see. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Jack. Why we still stick to YouTube, even when censorship, like when I first started with YouTube, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like my channel's shadow banned, but I'm starting to think that almost everybody else in cryptocurrencies is too. So, I know that I feel like I came into, like, I've had my channel for a while, not a long time. I mean, just since January, but we were just doing memes and stuff before I really got into doing news. And I feel like I came into crypto pretty much after that, like YouTube had already laid down the ban hammer and cut a lot of people's traffic and stuff like that in cryptocurrency. And so, you know, I didn't really know if I was going to be able to grow on YouTube. Now we have grown, and you know, we've got exciting stuff coming up. I know our channel is definitely going to, if they ever lift the ban hammer, we're going to do a lot better. One cool thing is, I know I've been telling you guys a lot, like 90% of my traffic comes from Reddit, but now actually it's down to about 50% now coming from Reddit. So that was really encouraging me to see that YouTube is at least showing my videos a little bit more to people. But you know, I think that the whole point of what I'm trying to say is I was hoping I could move to D2 because it seemed like, especially I made 150 on that one video. I was like, man, this could be a really promising place for my channel to thrive. And I had this idealistic, like, utopian, like, oh, D2 would be so great. Like, everybody like my content. And I found they weren't showing it to people either. So it's really just almost a different kind of censorship from YouTube. So even though, you know, YouTube is not probably, I've met all the qualifications for monetization, so I'm waiting to hear from them on that. But I know it takes a while for some people, so I may not even hear back for a couple months. But YouTube's pretty much my home now. I've decided, like, I'm not really trying to branch out and go to other places. I think that even if, you know, monetization through YouTube specifically isn't in the cards for me, or it's not going to be enough for me to really keep the channel going, you know, full time or whatever it is. I'm not ever going to be full time because I like what I do. But, you know, I know there's other ways in cryptocurrency to make money with your YouTube channel, whether it's doing interviews with people or whatever. So I've just kind of decided, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with YouTube, and, you know, we'll see how far we can take it on here. So, Peter from Decentralized TV got banned from live stream. I'm gonna have to look into that and see. So I can promise you, like, I'm definitely gonna look into this. I'm gonna find out where he lives. He probably lives in Johns Creek or Alpharetta or something like that, if I were to just guess, or Buckhead. He might live in Buckhead. So I'll check that out and find out where he is and see if there's any way I can connect with him. That would be really cool. Maybe he's involved in some of these local Atlanta meetups we have. So I'll do graphics whenever. Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, you can email me. You can email me on my you can look it up on my about page. So, well, cool, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I gotta run. You know, fireworks are done. Long day today, so we're gonna go ahead and check out. We talked about all the news. It's cool. We'll be back tomorrow with a couple new videos, and talk to you guys later. Thanks.